But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is something that I think we all acknowledge happens, but we don't talk about enough.
Okay.
I submit to you that sleeping at the airport is a top 5 most beaten scene.
Yes.
That is, I saw like a number of people just like posted up, just laying around,
Yeah.
like trying to get some sleep. That is on the Mount Rushmore of being beaten.
So, I have a story.
Oh.
Set the scene. Picture this. Reykjavik, Iceland.
Dateline.
Dateline. I don't have a Dateline in me right now. I don't have that dog in me right now. But the scene is 2018. I'm in Reykjavik, Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
And our flight was mega delayed, as in not leaving till like the next day, but we didn't find that out until it was like already too late to go to like the one airport hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to shut down the airport for like 30 minutes for like a, I don't know, if like health and safety, like cleaning type of thing. So
that's very Scandinavian of them. We would never.
No, we had to exit the airport, walk outside in, I mean, it was 30 something degrees. It was freezing.
It's Iceland. It's in the name.
Exactly. And so we had to stand outside. I was in Crocs for 30 minutes. And then we came back in, and they wouldn't let you sleep on the furniture. Like, we kind of found a little, like, coffee shop nook thing that had a little bench on it. And, like, we were taking turns trying to just get, like, 30 minutes of, just some shut-eye. Wouldn't let you sleep on the furniture. So, anyway, I've been stranded in Iceland for, like, 24 hours, unable to sleep in the airport. Not a fun experience.
Beaten.
Not fun.
And you know me. Here's the thing. One of the great disconnects between you and I is I get to the airport as late as possible while still making your flight guy.
Yeah.
And you are
2 hours.
2 hours no matter what.
Yes.
As you know, there is nothing I dislike more than waiting at an airport. So that's why when I saw people sleeping there last night, I was like, this has got to be the worst scene that you can possibly be part of.
Yeah.
So beaten.
I don't know. I always liked the waiting in the airport thing, mainly because I think I flew so much for work for so often in those first couple of years that I was here that like it was 2 hours of people not being able, like I could put my headphones in and not be interrupted. And that was just fantastic. Now going on vacation, it's like, oh, you're excited to go on vacation. I still fly for work fairly often, but not near as much as I used to.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to all the people who had to sleep at Love Field last night.
Yeah, I'm glad your in-laws didn't.
Oh my God. My buddy asked me, I told him about the thing, and he goes, what is the statute of limitations on your offer to pick them up? And this is true. Like if it was you, this is true. We're friends. If you asked me to pick you up at the airport, I'd pick you up at the airport. Yeah. But it would get to a certain point where I would say, hey, Uber, I'll pay for your Uber. I'll just hit you back.
Yeah.
But like my in-laws, that's like a different, they let me marry their daughter.
Yeah, you can't. You just
I gotta eat it.
Because here's the other thing. Not only would your in-laws probably not be very happy with you, your wife would be ultra peeved. Like she'd be mad.
There's a zero. Nobody wins. Well, let me be clear. I definitely lose in a situation like that. So it's not worth it. Anyway, happy pre-K graduation, Hank. Hit the theme expo. Yes, y'all! From the brand new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas. It is Texas Football Today, a program with internet access. My name is Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, or you listen to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show, the little show that could. I am sitting over there at the helm today, sounding just like a treat.
Yep.
She's the Duchess of the Dorks, the very not sick Ashley Pickle.
I'm telling you, I'm really not. I would be honest about that.
I know you would.
I'm really not sick. The fact that I can breathe through my nose,
that's usually
good
a tell.
sign. I don't know what's going on, but it's probably a credit to the rest of y'all because you don't have to listen to me. Like it's a pretty good thing. I've been fairly quiet today.
And here I am doing a show with you.
Well, you're getting paid for this.
Am I? Has your check cleared?
No.
Today,
I've been doing this for free for 4 years.
Today, I've been doing it for free 8.5. Today is Thursday, May 23rd, 2024, 189 days to Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to Drew Carey.
Oh, nice.
Drew Carey's 65 today.
Wow.
Looking good for 65, gotta be honest.
Yeah.
Drew Carey. All right, so it's funny.
Yeah.
What do you know Drew Carey as Price is Right guy, right?
Yeah.
That's your main thing. It's funny, and I think that's a generational gap because I think of him as like Drew Carey show and Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh yeah.
Those would be the two that I think of.
Price is Right, definitely.
But that's the thing. You're the right one.
Yeah.
He is the Price is Right guy. Much like Bob Barker is not Happy Gilmore's Bob Barker.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. My mom was real big into Price is Right, too, so that plays a factor into it. She would have crushed that show.
Price is Right rocks. It's a good show. It's episode 1776, because God bless America. On today's show, folks, back half the show, we're going to talk with the head coach of the Royse City Bulldogs, Coach Drew Colvin or Andrew Culvin, and I have seen it in equal measure from different places, both of which you would think are authoritative, okay? Like Royse City ISD calls him Andrew Culvin. He calls himself on Twitter, Andrew Culvin, and when he submitted his questionnaire, he called himself Drew Colvin.
Maybe it's a mullet situation, business in the front, party in the back.
Maybe it is. I'm going to ask him, like, do your friends call you Drew?
Yeah.
Can I
call you Drew?
That's the thing. Yeah, are we friends? Real heat check for our friendship with Andrew Culvin or Drew Colvin coming up here in the back half of the show. Before that, we're going to talk a little bit about Texas Tech and why I am pretty bullish on the Red Raiders heading into 2024. We'll get into that coming up here in just a moment. Do we have first four through the door?
We do, and I have a funny story. The first part of that is Daniel Agnew, TJ Hudson, Chris Miejas, and Matthew McSpadden. Welcome in, fellas. When I was sending out the tweet, because I set that up to tweet out the link to when we go live, I put on there, like, hear why Tepper is buying #guns up. And I was like, well,
let me be clear.
It works, but why Tepper's buying guns up? And it was like, I'm gonna change that to Texas Tech. There's really nothing wrong with that. It didn't read right. Like, I feel like it would have made people do a double take.
I would agree.
So I laughed.
Anyway, we appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us. All right, Pickle. We are on the cusp of sending the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football to press. We do it tomorrow. So much so that we don't have a show tomorrow because we're busy with the magazine. Got to tuck it into its little magazine bed, put it in its little magazine footy pajamas, and sing it a lullaby. So we've obviously been digging through all of football across the state of Texas. We've been overdosing on football across the state of Texas.
Yes.
And there is one team that I keep coming back to for 2024 that every time I look at them, I'm like, maybe? And that's the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I am really increasingly bullish on Texas Tech heading into 2024. And I want to give you 3 reasons why I am big on Texas Tech heading into 2024. The first of which is I think this offense which at times was kind of hit and miss, I think it's going to take a pretty big step. Now, part of it is going to be due to, they're going to need quarterback help. Baron Morton's been banged up. Baron Morton's not playing in the spring. We got to make sure that he plays. He's their best option at quarterback. If it's not him, I wonder if they don't go with Will Hammond, the freshman out of Hutto, as their next best option.
He can sling it.
He can sling it. But regardless of who the quarterback is, they have also got, in my opinion, the best, most established running back in the state of Texas in Taj Brooks. They have what I think is going to be an offensive line that takes a nice step forward. And I think their receiving core, Caleb Douglas, Coy Aiken, Josh Kelly, Mason Tharp, their big tight end, and then, oh yeah, you add in a 5-star wide receiver in Micah Hudson. I think they're going to cook.
Yeah.
And I think that when you take a look at the offensive weaponry that Cade Kitley is going to be able to roll out there, I think their offense is going to take a step forward. I'm pretty bullish on their offense. The second reason that I'm bullish on Texas Tech heading into 2024 is on the other side of the ball, because I think low-key, I think people are not talking enough about the Texas Tech defense last year and the step that they took. They went from I don't have it in front of me, but they went from somewhere in the 90s in total defense last year to like middle of the pack, like the 60s. And Tim DeRuyter, their defensive coordinator, helped them make a step. Let's say, for the sake of argument, and they've got some pieces to replace, but let's say for the sake of argument that Ben Roberts, Jaden Cofield, Jalen Peoples and company give them are as good as they were last year, and they just stay the same, middle of the pack. If you combine that with taking a step forward offensively, I think you've got a real contender here as far as challenging for near the top of the table in the Big 12. I think that the defense, if they can maintain the gains that they made last year, which again I think is going underreported and underappreciated, if they maintain those gains, I think that defense has an opportunity to be pretty darn good. The secondary will be young and it has to prove itself. That's a question mark. And to be clear, there's not all sunshine and daffodils here. But I do think that they're going to take a step. But let me get to my third, final, and biggest reason why I am big on Texas Tech in 2024.
Okay.
Pickle, go take a look at the Texas Tech schedule. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm looking at this, and I do not think that there is a game that they will not be, I'm not saying they're going to be favored in every game, but where they will not be within a touchdown of the final line until...
North Texas.
Well, okay.
Call.
Until November. Like, let me run this through, okay? Abilene Christian to open. Mm-hmm. They're at Washington State. It's a tough trip.
Yeah.
But I think they're better than Washington State.
You don't have to worry about the cold at that point, which
No,
helps.
I think at Washington State, I don't know if they'll be favored, but they're going to be coin flippy in that game.
That's when you're going to get your answer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. If they go up there and win, because they're home to North Texas,
Call.
but I do think they're probably going to be, especially in Lubbock, they're going to be favored.
Oh, yeah.
Arizona State at home,
Yeah.
they're going to be favored. Cincinnati at home, they're going to be favored.
Yeah.
That's 5-0 right there. That's 5-0 before they go to Arizona. And by the way, that's a winnable game. They're home for Baylor, at TCU. We don't really know what TCU is going to look like, right? At Iowa State. We don't really know what Iowa State's going to look like. Home to Colorado. I mean,
That'll be
who knows?
If Colorado's worth anything, that'll absolutely be a night game
Oh, yeah.
at the Jones, which adds to their favor a little bit there too.
And then November 23rd, they go at Oklahoma State.
That's tough.
And that's tough. That's tough. To be clear, I think that's going to be probably their toughest game on their schedule. But what I'm saying is you take a look at their schedule, and by removing Texas and Oklahoma and the fact that they're not playing Utah,
Yeah.
right? They are, I look at this schedule, and I'm like, I don't want to go too crazy. I can count to 10 wins here. I'm not saying they're going to do that, but I can count to 10 wins. depending on how the Big 12 shakes out, if they can stay healthy at the quarterback spot, which is not a given, and if that defense can maintain their gains from last year, there's a lot to like about this team. And I think that there should be some palpable buzz around Texas Tech because everything sets up pretty well for them. Most notably the schedule, but also the personnel they've got coming in. I am bullish on Texas Tech heading into 2024, and I think you should be too. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. We're Texas Football Today. We're here every week. That should be a new segment.
Put it in your pipe.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That's not bad. There's a lot of good potential for intros on that one.
We're Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Hey, Pickle.
Yep.
You know that schedule that I just read down, the Texas Tech schedule?
Yeah.
You know where I read it?
In the summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football.
The 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, which you can get mailed to you before it hits newsstands if you go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. Get a year of Dave Campbell's Texas Football at TexasFootball.com. You get 2 magazines mailed to you, plus you get a year of Dave Campbell's Texan Live, our streaming platform. That's right, thousands of live Texas high school events, including when the fall rolls around, hundreds and hundreds of Texas high school football games, which includes hundreds of Texas high school football playoff games, live on your device as part of your subscription to Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Makes a great gift as well.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, for Memorial Day. Honor the fallen at TexasFootball.com. That's terrible. Don't do that. You should show up to your party on your buddy's lake house, and whenever you everyone always wonders, your buddy invites you to the lake, right? You're like, oh, what can I bring? What can I bring? They've invited me out for a good time. Get them a subscription to Dave Campbell's Texas Football.
And Chicken Express.
Okay, bring that too. TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Makes a great gift. TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Coming up here in just a moment, let's find out what the head coach at Royse City's name is. But first, a word from these goods and services.
I feel like bustin' loose, come on, get on up, oh yeah, get on up, bustin' loose when you wanna sing, bustin' loose, baby, do your thing, talking about bustin' loose, yeah,
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
Wing is the largest residential drone delivery provider in the world, delivering to your home in less than 30 minutes. Order using an app just like other popular delivery services, and Wing's automated drone takes care of the rest. It's fast, safe, and sustainable, and it's now delivering to parts of Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. You can learn more at wing.com/TexasFootball. Again, that's wing.com/TexasFootball.
Back here on Texas Football Today, I am Greg, that is Ashley. And Ashley, let's go to the hotline. And let's welcome in the new head coach of the Royse City Bulldogs. We are joined by either Drew or Andrew Culvin. Coach, do you read us?
I do. Appreciate you having me.
Let's start with the biggest question of all. I have seen in equal measures Andrew and Drew. Can you settle this for us?
My wife calls me Drew, and then my professional name is Andrew. So.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to step on your wife's toes. It is Andrew Culvin, the head coach of the Royse City Bulldogs, to join us here. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. This opportunity here at Royse City, we've seen the press release. We've heard from all the people around Coach David Petroff, who went into an athletic administration, which opened up the job, and all the nice things they've said about you and why you're such a good fit for this job. I want to take that question and turn it on its head. Why was Royse City the right job for Andrew Culvin?
Yeah, that's a great question. I say this a lot. When you're at a place like Rockwall, where I was at, you get to be very picky about jobs you apply for, and you don't have to just take any job to get your first one. So I wanted to go somewhere that, one, supported athletics and did the most for kids, provided resources for kids and coaches to be successful. I wanted to go somewhere where the admin had the same vision as I did for the overall athletic program, and just be around good people. And Royse City did all of that. We have phenomenal facilities. We're building an event center in the south end of our end zone. Great stadium to play in, indoor facility for our kids, great softball and baseball complex, good budgets for athletics to make sure our kids get top of the line stuff. So that was the biggest deal for me. Go somewhere where athletics and kids are a priority, and Royse City does that.
You are coming off of a couple year stint there in Rockwall, where this offense that you were coordinating was one of the most explosive in the state of Texas.
Yes, sir.
When you came to Royse City and you addressed your new players for the first time as their head coach, I'm curious what your message to them was.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I told them, the first thing I said was, I didn't come here to make y'all like Rockwall. That's not what I'm doing here. I said, I don't want to make y'all like Rockwall. I see something special in this group that's in front of me, and we're going to do our own big things with the teammates that are right here. And then I just told them three things that are very important to me that have always led to success. I told them, number one, I care about them being good people. Just be a good person. People want to support kids that act the right way and that are respectful. Number two, I told them that the best players that I have ever coached, it is no coincidence that they were great teammates. Braden Locke, Caden Marshall, Jax Johnson, Ashton Emery, all of those guys that performed at the highest level. It's no coincidence that they were revered by their teammates. So it matters to me that they're good teammates. And then I told them the last thing that's important to me is winning. And it's important to me because that's important to kids. And I truly believe that that's a byproduct of being a good person and being a phenomenal teammate. If you do those two things, well, then winning will take care of itself.
Talking with Andrew Culvin, the new head coach of the Royse City Bulldogs here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at hashtag TFDay. All right, Coach, so then you get to Royse City, and this is your first head coaching job. So what, for Royse City fans who are excited to go out there and fill up the stadium on Friday nights this fall, what can they expect an Andrew Culvin coached Royse City Bulldogs team to look like?
Yeah, so when you come watch the Bulldogs, I think the first thing that's going to jump off the screen at you is how tough our kids are. I've been really encouraged by the effort that our kids have given, and I tell our kids all the time, we will win games because we will out-effort people. We will play longer than other teams are willing to play. We will go a little harder than other teams are willing to go. And that's the biggest encouragement of this group that I have is, we're not coaching effort, which is great, because if we're coaching effort, we're not coaching football, and that hurts the team. So I think when you come watch this group of Royse City Bulldogs play, that you just be wowed at the amount of effort and physicality that these kids are playing with, and that's what I appreciate most about them. Yeah,
you mentioned the drive and the motor that these guys have. I'm curious, when you take a look at this roster that you're inheriting, a team went 3-7 last year, very hungry to get back into their winning ways, bring back 9 starters from last year. When you take a look at the personnel that you're inheriting, what has you really excited about this roster?
Yeah, what excites me the most is probably our defense. As hard as that is for me to say, I tell you what, our defense, it's a senior-heavy defense, very low-maintenance group. When I go to practice, I don't have to worry about, are they going to give great effort? Are they going to have bad body language? That side of the ball early on really struck me as a very business-like mindset. We're anchored by one of our captains, Sebastian Lopez, on the defensive line. Another captain is at linebacker, Billy Jones. Both of those guys have great motors. We have one of the best defensive backs in the state of Texas in Cordarian Powell, who, right now has 10 Division I offers. And that kid, he has turned it up since all those offers have rolled in. 3 guys that have been elected captains by their teammates, and, low maintenance kids that love Royse City football that are just phenomenal to coach. So I think the anchor and the staple of our team is going to be our defense.
It's Andrew Culvin, head coach at Royse City, joining us here on Texas Football Today. Coach, we hear all the time from folks in your industry that everyone's just a product of the guys that they coach with and coach under. You've spent the past couple of years there at Rockwall under Coach Trey Brooks. I'm curious what you feel like you're going to take from Coach Brooks that you're going to bring with you to Royse City.
Yeah, I've said this before. You always feel like you're ready to be a head coach, and I've worked with some really good head coaches, and I've been coaching 15 years, and I think around year 9 I was wanting to be a head coach, and in those years previous to now, interviewing for head coaching spots. But I do know this now that I'm doing it, I would have never been prepared to do this if I have not worked alongside Trey Brooks, and we're really good friends, and that means a lot to me. But just watching his time management, how he prioritized things, how he led adults, how he led kids, his involvement with the community, and the way he structured everything, just parent meetings and camps, and just our involvement with the middle school. Doing that for 4 years alongside him, it was just a really, really smooth transition for me to get here and implement those things here that are important. So I am very appreciative of my time alongside Coach Brooks.
Well, and speaking of which, finally, Coach, I have to ask you that, of course, every game on your schedule is a big one. I have to say that as a journalist.
Yes.
But also, September 27th, at Wilkerson Sanders Stadium, your district opener against those Rockwall Yellow Jackets. How is that going to be for you? Not only against Coach Brooks and that stuff, but also these players that you coached to such heights last year.
Yeah, that'll be a special game. It's not more important than any other game. If you beat Rockwall and lose all the other games, it's for nothing. And if you that to me, it's just a special game because I was around that staff for 4 years, and there are phenomenal coaches over there that did a lot for me, and obviously our family is close to their families. Love those players over there, and so it'll be a special game because it's my guys versus guys that I used to coach, and I think the atmosphere at Wilkerson Sanders will be just electric that night. Definitely a special deal just because playing a team that you coached before, but it's not more important than any other game we play. So I'll just make sure our kids know that when we go play that game, it's not about me, it's not about these coaches that were at Rockwall, they're playing Rockwall. It's just about our kids getting after it on a district opener. And I've coached Tristan Gooch and Landon Locke and some other guys over there too, and it'll just be fun to compete against them. I'll tell you that.
He's Andrew Culvin. He's the new head coach of the Royse City Bulldogs. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the new gig, and looking forward to seeing what you guys do in the fall.
Thank you very much. Appreciate all y'all do for Texas high school football.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach. There he goes, Andrew Culvin, head coach of the Royse City Bulldogs.
We know his name now.
Join us here at Texas Football Today. Listen, what have I always told you guys? Just know who you are, right? It's important to know who you are, and I am the guy who will ask you what your name is. Because again, he filled out his questionnaire. This is true. He filled out his questionnaire and he wrote Drew Colvin.
Maybe his wife filled it out. That would be awesome. If there are any coaches' wives out there that fill out their husband's questionnaire for them, please let me know so we can get you on WTF.
I was just about to say that.
Please let me
like,
know.
Okay, let's move to final thoughts here because
You know who would do that? Courtney Cluley.
Courtney Cluley will do it.
She would absolutely do that.
That is because you and I talk about this, about how you talk with these coaches and you'll get one answer. Mm-hmm. But if you want the real scoop,
You go
if
to the
want
coaches'
the
wives.
inside, you talk with the wives.
Oh, yeah. Why do you think we're so tight with all the wives?
Because they'll give you the goods. They will give you the goods.
Also, they rock. But
We should.
yes.
They do also rock. But like we should. Should we send out a wives questionnaire?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We can talk about it on WTF.
Are we programming our on the air right now?
When have we never not?
This is a great idea. Let's go over to Ashley Pickle.
Well, I don't have bad ideas.
Final thoughts. You want to plug your show today?
Yeah, coming up at 2 o'clock, WTF, myself, Mallory Hartley, Vianney Moreno, joined by Tara Murray
Bang, bang.
with Yo Quiero. I'm gonna eat some bean dip.
You are
So come
on the
on
air. Yeah, this is our
Watch us celebrate bean dip.
So this is our final program until
Ever.
Until June 3rd. Finally, somebody releases me from this prison. From June till June 3rd. I am out next week. I'm going to summer camp.
Yeah,
As
nice.
I think folks know that I go and I volunteer with an organization I'm really passionate about, Camp Ryla. They're here, and that is next week. So I will be gone, and Pickle is going to go to the hammock district and pick out a hammock and hang out here.
I have to edit videos
Ugh.
that we will reveal on June 3rd.
Because that's the other thing. June 3rd, mark your calendars. We are back Monday, June 3rd with the cover reveal, the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Is this the year we finally put Greg Powers on the cover of the magazine? You can
The streets are saying.
You can find out exclusively noon, June 3rd, on Texas Football Today. That is our next broadcast because that is going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at TCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell. And of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thank you to Royse City head coach Andrew Culvin for being our guest. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please get your Player of the Year trophy. We will see you June 3rd for the cover reveal on Texas Football Today.